started.
Big. Okay, let's try c4. I haven't played that in a while. Big, or bagi to Akko. bag I to Akko. Have no idea. Okay, we got a reverse Sicilian here. And I'm going to play with knight to c3, bishop to g2. Goes for the exchange immediately. Okay, that's a reasonable idea. He can take back with the queen if he wants to try and harass my light square diagonal here. Take a look at the knight, but knight to f3 is a reasonable response to queen takes. So now I'm piling up on his knight. He might just want to take here, or he could defend it. But it's a decision. He's got to decide what he wants. He decides to defend. Okay. Let's see. I can kick the knight with e5. Or I can play more quietly. Let's just play with d6. I want to play d6, knight d3. d3, knight f3. Get the knight here to a good square and not have to worry about him pushing the pawn to e4. So d3 to slow down the e-pawn. e3, knight f3, and then look at where this bishop goes. See where he puts the rest of his pieces. If he takes my knight, I want to take back with the b-pawn anyway, because that'll give me more pawns in the center, more center influence. So I've got kind of a reverse Sicilian setup, and he's got the pawn on c3. Should be okay. Knight here attacks the e-pawn, so he needs to defend it. Probably knight d7. I'm just going to castle. Oh, he's taking his time thinking about this. Is this a new setup for him? He decides to take the knight. Yeah, that's a decision you want to think about. Often it's a good idea because this knight on d5, although it looks good, it's somewhat exposed there. So he can castle and bring a rook to the d file, maybe go after this pawn. I'm going to castle. I think I have time for that. And then I also have time to get my queen to c7, c2, b3, or a4. Where do I want the queen? I could also wait for him to put the rook here and then decide. The bishop could go to e6. Take a look at the queen side. Or it could come out here to a3. Okay, so that prevents queen a4. I guess I've ruled out moving my queen to a4 with this move. Let's see. Oh, that's interesting. His knight can come into b4. I've got that covered, or c5. So bishop a6, knight c5. Bishop a3. I got my orientation backwards here. Let's see. You know, he defended this pawn with his queen. I attacked it. Yeah, he played queen c7. I was going to say, did I leave that pawn hanging there for a minute? But it looks like I never had a chance. Okay, so let's think. If I play, yeah, let's go ahead and play it. Bishop a3, he could block with knight to c5 or even pawn to c5, or he could trade off this bishop. He blocks with the c-pawn. Okay, so now I was thinking queen here and rook, one of the rooks, this rook, the f rook to the d file, and push on with d4 here. Might be a way to play this. He's got a hole on the d5 square, and maybe I should think about how to get there, but it's not easy, actually. It'd be quite a long knight maneuver. Knight here to here. That might be a good maneuver anyway. Knight here gets the knight out of the way of the bishop, and maybe I'm going to play rook to b1, hit the b pawn. I will play rook to e1 or d1, probably d1 still. And the knight can come forward to... Okay, so he took away the e4 square from my knight. Okay, well, let's play rook b1, see what he wants to do about his b pawn. He defends it. Ah, that's interesting. I was expecting him to just play b6. Oh, he couldn't do that because the rook was in the way. Okay, so I kind of gained the tempo there. Can I get away with the move f4 here, undermining his e-pawn? f4, he plays e4. I take, he takes, I take. f4, he takes with the pawn. I take with the rook. And then he can get his bishop to a good diagonal, but it's opened up a square or two for me. Let's try this idea out. Okay, so he did want to play b6 there. So he's got a solid wall of pawns here. I can undermine with pawn to a5 at some point. But what I was thinking of immediately was pawn to d4 here. I see there's also knight c4. Is that of any use? So pawn d4, pawn takes, rook takes, I guess, because I take with a pawn, my queen is undefended here. It's a bit awkward having my queen opposite his queen. Maybe knight back. Oh, that's a bad idea. I should have retreated my rook. I should have retreated my rook before placing my knight there. I've left my rook stranded. He can probably trap it now with bishop to, or with a pawn move. Yeah, even worse. Well, let's see. So knight takes, bishop takes doesn't look very appetizing. Yeah, the only square I can go to is here. Bad idea. So at least, well, this is giving up the exchange rather than giving up a whole piece. That's the idea here. Oh, he doesn't take it. Pushes on with his pawns. Interesting. Okay, if I play e4 here and he takes en passant, that's not so great. Yeah, my rook is just kind of out of play there. But he's given up this square. So maybe I can pile up on his exposed bishop here. Yeah, let's see, if I take the dark squared bishop, his queen will come over and defend the pawn. I was wondering if there was some way I could get a pawn out of this rather than letting my... well, maybe if I take here, knight takes, bishop takes, but that still doesn't save the rook, so that's probably no good. Okay, so let's get rid of that dark squared bishop. Queen takes. Now, his bishop is a bit loose. I can push on with d4 here and take advantage of the momentary situation of his queen here. Okay, takes there. Ah, he's going to move his queen with tempo. He's going to come to this square. Not a bad idea. Okay, but I still think I need to take there.
Check.
And, yeah, this is bad. Wherever I go is bad. I guess I'll go there. Defending the g-pawn, but I'm exposed on the h-file here. He can just lift his rook, maybe. Well, we'll see what he comes up with. Definitely, yeah. Well, black is winning. He's got the exchange up and probably a pawn up too, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2. Pawns are even. Okay. I still have some pressure on the c pawn here, so yeah, I will take that. And he can take back with the knight. Yeah, so maybe that doesn't do much good. Okay, so that forces the knight away, but it allows me to clog up the h-file here at least. I'm hitting his exposed bishop. And well, I've got knight to f4 here, defended by the queen, hitting his queen. Let's see, I have to be wary of rook to c7 looks dangerous, right? So if I take with the king, rook f2. Rook f2 comes with check, or queen f2. So I have to bring the knight back. So I don't have knight f4 anymore. I have to bring my pieces back for defense. Yeah, well, he piles up that way. That's interesting, not what I was expecting. So I have knight to knight f4. Let's see, but if I just defend this pawn for the moment, I want to get this bishop back in the game. So maybe I would just leave these pawns here and play this bishop to c1, try and come out along this diagonal, maybe support the f4 square. And I still think his mating idea is just to lift a rook and come over here to the h-file, and
check.
It's difficult for me. Oh, he's coming over there with the queen. Difficult for me to do anything about it. Was my knight attacking his queen? How long was my knight attacking his queen? Here I'm attacking the queen. He goes there. I could have just taken his queen. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's incredible. Okay. Boy, oh boy. So he's hitting the g-pawn again. That's annoying. Let's see. Bishop c1, queen takes g3, bishop f4. Where does the queen go from there? The queen goes to... no, that's covered. Here, 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 here. Queen goes back. Okay, well, I need to get my bishop in the game anyway, and I don't see a way to defend that pawn. That's amazing that I would... oh, bishop f4, he just takes it. Just amazing that I would play that way. Not take the queen when I'm given the chance.
Check. Check.
Okay, yeah, this looks pretty deadly here. Knight here, rook takes, or bishop here, rook takes, knight takes, queen takes, check, and he's got an extra piece. If I come here, he's got queen here, check. He can chase me to the side. Well, let's make him prove that he's got a mate here.
Check.
He still needs to lift his rook. Oh, maybe queen there. No, queen there is not yet mate because I have a knight. I have a knight. My queen can come out to e4 and threaten to come over here and start checking his king. Maybe get some counterplay that way. Okay, he just decides to resolve the situation with the pawn. So queen here. His knight's still a little bit out of play. There's a queen check here and a queen check here. There's a bishop maneuver here. I can bring the bishop out quickly. And the knight's covering the f4 square nicely. There's also a queen check on e6. If I get the bishop out, check on e6, maybe I can mate on... I can play bishop f4 right now, actually. And get the lineup on the two diagonals. Bishop f4 to e5 and queen to d5 would be pretty uncomfortable. Oh, the knight there covers the d5 square. Interesting. So do I want to give the check first? Give the check. The king goes to the corner, and then I bring the bishop out.
Check.
To f4, threatening bishop to e5, also hitting the knight. And the king has to go to the corner here, I think. Oh, he could go to f7. That's also a move, but he goes to the corner. Okay, so this was the idea. Bishop here, now threatening bishop to e5, mate, or I guess he can interpose. It would win something, though, wouldn't it? Tricky situation. And I'm caught up a little bit on the clock. He's starting to burn some clock time. That's good. I think I'm back in the game here because his knight is under attack. The mate attack seems to be gone at the moment. His queen's cut off from the rest of his forces, and I have this check on the diagonal threatened. Of course, it would have been simpler if I'd just taken his queen. I don't know. You don't expect your opponents to hang their queen like that, but you always got to check. You never know. Okay, okay, brings his queen there. That threatens mate. That's interesting. Queen here is checkmate. Let's see. So I can give this check first. His only move is bishop interpose. Yeah, actually, yeah, that doesn't work well. Check. He's taken his queen off the f file. So this is fatal. He can only block with the rook, and then bishop takes rook as mate. So if I mate first, it doesn't matter that he's got a checkmate threat. Well, cool. I managed to win that game anyway. Okay, I'll upload this and do a post-mortem. See you guys later. Bye.